So in the past year or so that I've been doing challenge videos on games like Fallout, I've received a mountain of requests for challenges I should do. Now, most of them involve some sort of blunt bludgeoning instrument and way too much of my time, but a few of them actually do manage to catch my eye. One of these challenges that was requested for me was, can you beat Fallout 4 as aGhoul? That being me, of course. Now, I kind of saw a 50-50 split between this one when people were talking about these types of challenges. That being, hey, can you beat Fallout 4 in a way that you usually do? By which I mean, of course, that I just play Fallout 4 and you guys kind of get to see what mods I like to run, stuff like that. And the other is that I literally take a tally of everything I own, see if any of that is in Fallout 4, and then beat the game with that stuff. Oh boy, okay, there was one that's actually fun, and one that's gonna be really messy. I, of course, chose the messy one. Now, I'm gonna be honest, this challenge is going to be a nightmare. Need I remind you, although I am American, I am Californian, the least epic of all Americans, meaning I own no weapons, and a slight chill breeze that is under 70 degrees will in fact kill me. To top everything off, I am not physically adept in the slightest, and I'm diabetic of all things. So yeah, can you beat Fallout 4 as a wimpy diabetic loser? Okay, let's talk rules. This is obviously very confusing, but basically I can only use items I own in real life. I already have some things in mind, but it's gonna be pretty rough, I'm gonna be honest. I have to match my special stats as close to what I would think I would have in real life, and I somehow have to work diabetes into this because, let's face it, of all the things about me, that is by far the most interesting when it comes to challenges. How I'm gonna do this, you may be asking? Well, it's simple. I have a Dexcom G7. That's just a device that monitors my sugar. In real life, this works with my Omnipod, which is another device, which constantly gives me insulin. There are no Omnipods or Dexcoms in Fallout 4 naturally. So what I'm going to be doing is I am constantly going to be checking up on my sugar while I'm doing the run, and based on how high or how low my sugar is, it will have effects on my game. For example, if I have a low, I must immediately drop everything I'm doing and find the nearest sugary snack. If I don't eat it, I don't know, I guess I just lose or something. If I'm high, I have to take a stim pack. Normally, if my blood sugar is high, I would do something like take a bit of extra insulin and maybe do a couple laps around the house, and that usually gets it into check. But unfortunately, Fallout 4 was not designed with role-playing as a diabetic in mind, so there is no insulin in the game. That's fine though, stim packs will be my stand-in insulin, and I think that's the best way I could honestly represent it. Now, this run is going to be riddled with challenges, but we'll get to those when it happens. But for now, I think I've dawdled on for far too long. Let's get into the video. Alright, so starting off, we have the name, obviously. I just went with aGhoul. That's what most of you guys know me as, so I figured it was fitting. Also, funny little mention here, but I figured, well, now's the time to mention if anything. aGhoul is actually a very old name when it comes to the channel. Now, it's not the original channel name, mind you, but there's a very specific reason why it was chosen. Originally, my channel name was Lord of the Mountain. At the time, that was my current gamer tag. I decided to change it because Lord of the Mountain kinda sucks as a name, and I went with aGhoul. I guess the A just makes it spicy. Now, aGhoul was actually based on my oldest gamer tag I have, which was on a Pokemon Omega Ruby, of all things. My original game name was Ghost Guy, and I thought I was the coolest thing around. Instead of giving my Pokemon trainer my name like everyone else around me, I came up with this fake name to do it. Ghost Guy later evolved into just simply aGhoul, and that's how it stayed. Alright, for special stats, let's be real, no strength, no endurance, no agility. I debated a lot on what stats should get, well, points, and I decided luck, as I'm actually pretty lucky. Intelligence, I'm not trying to brag or anything, but I can be intelligent at times, and charisma. Now, I'm gonna say this right now, I am not charismatic in the slightest. I just did this because, well, if there's anything I'd say that's special about me, it's my ability to talk and talk and talk. Basically, this means the only stats that have points are charisma, intelligence, and luck, but you know what, that's all I need. As for appearance, this one's gonna be difficult. Basically, what I did was I made sure I had no facial hair because I don't actually grow my beard out. I changed my hair to something a bit more slicked back. In truth, I have something honestly closer to a mullet right now. Okay, if I can find a mullet, I will do a mullet. Alright, that's actually pretty close to what I have. I just have hair on the back. We'll say this for now, and I just bumped that schnoggin up as much as I could. I have a massive nose. You guys have seen me before. I have a massive nose. All right, this isn't the greatest, guys, but I think I did a pretty good job. Also, you're probably wondering, wait a minute, if any video you did, wouldn't this be the one where you used a face cam? And you're right. I just couldn't be bothered. Okay, let's talk weapons because let's face it, it's what all of you guys are thinking about right now. I don't own any weapons. The closest thing I have to a weapon is a small knife. Now, I'm gonna be honest. I was originally gonna use the switchblade to represent that, but I couldn't even find my knife while prepping for this video. So I decided it wouldn't be fair to use that if I don't even know where it is. Instead, I found this rather nice kitchen knife, and that would be my weapon. Now you may be thinking, there is no kitchen knife in base Fallout 4. But thanks to the last few numbers in my debit card, and let's face it, Fallout 4, but I used the worst weapon in the game, I was able to purchase the anniversary edition of this game, which comes with a rather nice knife. Now the problem is going to be actually getting that. Okay, so first things first, guys, I am getting rid of everything. No wedding ring, I'm not married. No security baton, I don't have a baton. Technically, I'm already cheating because I do not have a nice pair of tidy whities like this. So we're off to a great start. Yes, I also don't happen to own like a leather full body suit that's bright blue. Well, the thing we're after right now is actually my clothes, my weapon, and a little surprise. I say a little surprise, it's just right here. We're grabbing dog meat. I have a couple dogs, well, my family has a couple dogs, and one of them happens to look almost exactly like dog meat. Now, as far as outfit goes, I actually have a rough idea where I want to go, and that is Fallon's basement. Again, this is another sort of thing where Anniversary Edition comes in clutch, and I'll show you guys why in a minute. A couple other bonus rules to throw out there right now. I am not allowed to use drugs or alcohol. Put simply, I am a minor, I cannot drink, but also this kind of comes back to the whole diabetes thing, because for those of you who don't know, diabetics have a rough time when it comes to drinking alcohol. As for drugs, well, despite the amount of Sublime songs I know by heart, I would never touch drugs. I am scared enough by freaking ibuprofen. I would never do something like hard meth. So yeah, drugs are off the table. Don't mind me. No. Leave the naked man alone. Oh, good God, good God, good God, good God. Oh, this is gonna go beautifully, isn't it?
You stop waving that gun in my face. Okay.
Yeah, listen to the naked man who just approached you. More money. Jesus, I'm so charismatic, guys. I don't know what to tell you guys. I'm just real charismatic. I'm just that good. What are you? Is that a free set of power armor? Oh, no. What are you? It's fine. Dog meat can have fun with that. I have played the bulk of the quests for the Anniversary Edition. I don't know what to tell you. I just like Fallout. Ow. Some of them I haven't even touched, though. Like that, I have never seen that. After a brief bit of travel, I made it to Diamond City. I'm gonna be honest, I just punched Piper. Any of you guys notice this when you guys are doing the glitch? Like sometimes it just doesn't work. You holster your hands and Piper's like, no. Like seriously, I'm not sure what's happening here. She just stays mad. Well, since the glitch wasn't working, I'm just gonna have to do the conversation, which is always a treat. Piper really is the worst. I don't like her. I know for a lot of people, she's like their favorite companion. I just don't like her. I'm going to ignore all of this drama because this is what I would do in real life, and I'm just gonna run and go shopping. So in probably one of the most bizarre twists I've ever seen when it comes to a challenge video, the anniversary update basically made this video, which is something that's never really happened when it comes to updates in these games. Let me show you why. We do have caps thanks to me somehow talking Wolfgang down, and Trudy, with the charisma I definitely do have. We can buy a couple outfits. The main thing I'm after is this, the armored Nuka-Cola outfit. Now let me just show you why this is absurd. I'm also buying a backpack, by the way. This actually does track. I own a backpack, if it wasn't obvious. This is the armored Nuka-Cola outfit. Now it does have some bits and bobs that are kind of armor-like, but that's not what matters. What matters is I own this exact outfit. Well, pretty much. I have a black and red Nuka-Cola shirt with these pants, these tan skinny jeans that I like to wear on the regular. I kid you not. Also, to complete the look, I have a backpack. I actually have this. I have a tan backpack with a Nuka-Cola sticker on it. So that's basically all the kit I needed. The last thing we need to worry about is actually the hash sling and slasher. Oh, hold up. My sugar has just spiked up. I am now at 310, which means I have to take a stim pack for no reason. Like I said, not the most engaging challenge in the world when it comes to that, but it's the best I could do. But real quick, outside the game, I need to take some insulin, so give me a second. Okay, where was I? Oh yeah, the hash sling and slasher, pint-sized slasher, whatever. So there is a new quest in the game with the Anniversary Edition where basically you have to go deal with the Pint-Sized Slasher. You know, that one serial killer from Fallout 3. Importantly though, he drops his knife, which is a kitchen knife. That is the only weapon I'm allowed to use in this entire run, well, aside from my fists. If you're wondering about the fists, God gave me 2 hands and I intend to use them. It's that simple. Ooh, money. Also, as a quick side note, I'm going to be collecting every copy of Robco Fun. It just seemed like something I would do if I was in the apocalypse, because I'm that stupid. Not that this is a hard challenge or anything, mind you. Robco Fun is by far the easiest magazine to collect, so I'm not too worried about it. Oh no, it's the crab. They know I like Cajun boiled. No! They're onto me. So the Boston Bugle should be somewhere around here. I believe it's just past here. Oh wait, we're going into center Boston. Everybody strap yourselves in. Strap yourselves in. It's gonna be a rough ride. No, the frames. The frames. Dear God. Ooh, I think we're safe. We're inside an interior. We should be safe. Good news is this is a Creation Club quest, which means it's probably going to be pretty simple if I'm being honest. It's going to be like, hey, read note A. Wait, no way, note A, it says to go to note B. Riveting gameplay. Okay, that's it. We are officially exiting downtown Boston. The frames should be okay for a little while. Just gotta be as stealthy as I can possibly be. Oh, it's just over here, never mind. Oh, I was actually worried there'd be content. Thank God. Now this quest, I'm gonna be honest, is very, very basic. But in a weird way, that really helps us in this run. Because I don't think I could have done a full-fledged quest. Like, if I'm being honest, I do, like, minimal damage with my fists, considering I have 1 point in strength. And again, just as a reminder, I have no endurance, which means no health. So in a very bizarre and unfortunate way, I was really lucky that this quest was kinda nothing. Behind you. Ah! No, it's John Murderer. What will I do? I have no idea how strong he actually is, if I'm gonna be honest. Why is... What? Wait, why is he full health? Game, you can't just do that. You can't just do that. He Goku blipped behind me and recovered all of his health. What the hell? That was a nightmare. That was a straight up nightmare. But here we go. Here's my weapon. I have no idea what I was supposed to do there, and I'm not going to question it. We got the knife. It's all that matters. So with that very, very confusing fight out of the way, I decided to take the knife back to Sanctuary to see if I could even mod it. And the good news is you can. You could actually mod it a decent amount. The bad news is the best blades you can make need blacksmith. I do not have access to anything in the strength skill tree. So yeah, 20 plus damage is all I'm gonna get. Okay, so it's time for the real part of the run, and if I'm being honest, I had no clue what faction in reality I would side with, but for the game, I decided I'd go with Minutemen. There is a couple reasons for this. One, I don't think I have the smarts to actually be part of the Institute. The Brotherhood would seem nice at first, but one thing is obviously I'm diabetic, and as the Brotherhood is essentially a military, I cannot join the military, therefore I cannot join the Brotherhood. You're wondering why diabetics can't join the military? It's simple. It basically boils down to that it's not a great idea to have people who are constantly at risk of seizures manning your airplanes. So that leaves the Minutemen and the Railroad. We all know I'm not siding with the Railroad, so I guess it's Minutemen. As for the knife, it's pretty good, at least against the early game raiders. It seems to butcher them nice and fine. I also get this snazzy animation every once in a while where I get to slit their throats. Nothing too special. It's basically a souped up combat knife. Now, there is plenty to worry about when it comes to the Minutemen's end of things, but we'll get to that when it happens. For now, let's just have fun running around as a wimpy diabetic loser who now has a knife. So I'm going to be completely honest here. I debated a bit on whether or not I could use power armor. As much as I'd like to imagine in this like incredible fantasy scenario, I would somehow have access to power armor. In reality, I probably wouldn't use it because I would be afraid of it. Listen, I cannot ride a bike. Do you think I could really be able to operate something like that? Also, in case if any of you guys were wondering, the way I dealt with the deathclaw and the raiders is the way I'd probably do it in real life, and that is I just left my problem to someone else. In this case, Preston and the rest of the raiders. You can call me a coward all you want, but it's a mutant, giant dinosaur lizard. Like hell am I gonna fight that thing with my butter knife. I'm probably gonna go get myself a drink of water. I'll be back in like 2 years. Oh! What do you mean? What do you mean? What do I do? Fallout 4, ladies and gentlemen. I almost had a heart attack. Now, I've played Fallout 4 a lot, and I've beaten this deathclaw a lot. I've had Preston beat this deathclaw a lot. I have never seen him be this aggressive, this glitchy, and this strong ever. It's absurd. Not only did he kill me twice inside the building, he also managed to clip inside the building multiple times. I have no idea how he did this. I've never seen him do this. He just kind of did. Thankfully, while I was running inside panicking, Preston managed to deal with things, so that was nice at least. I never want to see that deathclaw again. I just don't want to see it ever again. That was a pretty amazing display, as some may put it. I'm sure you guys don't need me to tell you all about my wonderful adventure at 10 Pines Bluff, and let's face it, the 8 other settlements I had to do afterwards. So let's just cut to the chase. Not that doing all these fetch quests were particularly hell, actually far from it. I actually got a new batch of music in since Pokemon ZA came out, and I was very, very content to just sit there listening to Jacinthe theme over and over as I did quests. I mean, let's be real, it's a bop. The settlers at 10 Pines Bluff didn't actually give me Lexington like they usually do. They gave me Badfill offices. I didn't even know there was a raider camp here. Well, I mean, neat, I guess. It's cool to know that there's something different that can happen here. Thankfully, Badfill offices is not too far from the Boston Bugle building, you know, where I started that delightful quest where I got to fight Murderer, one of our favorite members of the Fallout 4 cast, by the way. You will be seeing him on Season 2 of the Fallout TV show. Unfortunately, running to Badfill did mean I had to go through Southern Boston again, or Central Boston. Whatever, I had to go through Boston, and it was nice having frames for a few minutes. The raiders themselves were no pushovers. They started to get some heavier weaponry around here, stuff like hunting rifles and shotguns. Those do a decent, haha, he said doo-doo, I know. Those do a decent amount of damage, not saying it's great or anything. I am saying, though, it's enough to kill me, so that's nice. Honestly, the main problems were the ones with the shotguns. They could shred through my health bar in seconds, but luckily there was only 1 or 2 of them around. The rest of the raiders weren't too bad. They kind of just fell like dominoes after I killed their leader. Makes sense, it's not like they're organized or anything. I also decided to do Abernathy Farm because why not? They're one of the easier settlements, and as far as glitches go, they tend to be the most not glitchy. Blah blah blah, more raiders, blah blah blah, more tomatoes. Not too much to say. I also stopped by Sunshine Tidings while I was in the area. Okay, so the castle. This could be one of, if not the toughest hurdle in the entire run. Aside from the scores of Mirelurk I'm gonna have to kill, we of course have to deal with the Queen, a giant mutant crab that can kill me in 1 hit. Also, I started levitating at some point. This is something I just do, by the way. God, I love this game. Interestingly enough, I managed to pick up the magazine that gives you more meat per kill. Now, that may not seem incredibly important yet. Where that is gonna be important is with the babies. The babies will now drop meat, and since there are hordes of them, I am getting so much Mirelurk meat, it's not even funny. Like, this pretty much set me up for healing for the rest of the run. With enough of the eggs smashed, the Mirelurk Queen eventually showed her very ugly face, and it was time for the big battle. By now, all that was left was Preston and his other immortal friend, so it wasn't gonna be as easy as I'd hope. I realized, realistically, I am gonna have to rely on Preston for the most part, but I wanted to help just a little bit. If nothing else, to avoid another Deathclaw-like fiasco. Here we are, the Queen. I actually have 2 crits banked for this. Oh, she just doesn't care. Please don't be another Deathclaw. The Mirelurk Queen's acid is stupidly effective. I don't know why, but anytime I did so much as touch it, I would pretty much instantly melt. Now, normally the way I would counteract this is simply by taking some medics. But remember, according to the rules, drugs are a no-no, so no crisp 250 poison resist for me today. Not that things were all bad, mind you. Killing an infinite amount of Mirelurk hatchlings, all of which dropped some meat, was really nice. So what I ended up doing was just sitting inside one of the castle's many hidey holes, and just waited for Preston to take care of the Mirelurk Queen. Is it the most refined solution? No. Was it easy? Yeah, at least I got some enjoyment watching the little Mirelurk catchlings walking towards me as I ready my knife and just blissfully unaware of the fact that I am going to be eating them later. In some way, this is kind of fitting for the run. I don't think I've mentioned this, well, I know I have, but I don't think I've mentioned this video yet. Cajun boil happens to be my favorite food on this planet. Funny how these things work out, huh? She die? Oh, we did it! That was so messy. But the deed is done. We've murdered a queen. Wait a minute. Where the hell is Preston? He didn't make it? Why is he over there? I have no idea why Preston decided he needed to run that far away, but I'm not gonna question it. This is Fallout 4. Okay, I think we deserve a break from Minutemen for that. And naturally, taking a break from the Minutemen means going to the main story. After that whole mess at the castle, freeing Nick should be so easy. As expected, compared to the Mirelurks, the Triggermen were pushovers. Not only are they super squishy, but for some reason a few of them decided to drop their weapons and just start throwing hands. I don't have any investment in any of the melee perks, remember? So I have no idea why they did this. But hey, works for me. Okay, here's what I was afraid of. It's time for Skinny. Wait a minute, I'm charismatic. I forgot. Why do I keep forgetting that? I don't understand myself sometimes. I purposely put points into charisma so I could skip fights like this, and then I wind up just not using it because I'm having too much fun shanking everything instead. With Nick free from the vault, I decided I'd do a bit of background work. Honestly, because I'm on a bit of a time crunch right now, and every little bit helps. What this means for you guys is I went and did all the settlement quests that I needed to do right now. Now, things didn't exactly work out in my favor when I did this because all Preston gave me was Greentop Nursery and Grey Garden, which only bumped me up to 7 settlements. Now, after this point, Preston refused to give me any more settlement quests for the first time ever and decided that I had to go protect Abernathy Farm. Like hell am I protecting those losers, so I started searching for a workaround. Turns out the workaround was staring me right in the face as I forgot to build a recruitment beacon in Sunshine Tidings, which means that it wasn't officially one of my settlements, so one short trip later, I had all 8 settlements and Preston gave me the Old Guns quest. To celebrate all this, I decided to get a haircut that just suited me that little bit better, and now we can move on to killing Kellogg. In all honesty, I was very scared going to Fort Hagen. I had no idea how well I'd fare against the synths, because they can lay on a lot of damage if you're not careful, and my Nuka-Cola outfit actually has less energy resistance than Ballistic. Who would have guessed the graphic t-shirt wouldn't protect me from laser beams? Shocker, I know. Luckily, I have enough experience running through Fort Hagen that I'm not too upset about it if I won't be able to kill the synths, but I at least gave it a try. Surprising nobody, the synths could kill me in seconds. Or at least they could kill me faster than I could kill them with my little butter knife. That didn't stop me from killing them, oh no. It just took a while to do so. The main issue was just how fast they could kill me. I mean, it took seconds for maybe 2 of them to kill me. And those seconds weren't exactly seconds I could pile on a huge amount of damage. So it wasn't like a glass cannon dying type of thing. It was very much a I'm barely doing enough damage to kill, and they're doing way more than enough. So the wise thing really was to run. Luckily for you guys though, I'm not wise. The second half of Fort Hagen is arguably the easiest part of the fort. You could run through every synth guard. That is except for the 2 that are in front of Kellogg's room. If you don't kill them, they will come back, and they will torture you during the entire fight. So it is safer to kill them right now. But it's not like they're too strong or anything. They should just be normal synths. I did have a Strider mixed in there, but I think that was more so just because of my level. I am actually very high level right now, believe it or not. So it wasn't exactly surprising to see some stronger ones in there. One thing I wasn't prepared for going to Fort Hagen was the sheer amount of times my head would get crippled. Look, I kid you not, at least every other shot was a crippled head. I have no idea why this was happening. It just kept happening though, and there was nothing I could do about it. I'm gonna be honest, I probably wouldn't talk to Kellogg if I was in this situation. This is not just me trying to get through this quickly. I legitimately probably wouldn't talk to Kellogg. I just wouldn't be interested in what he had to say. Now, Kellogg is strong. There's no denying it. 2 synth bodyguards, both of which have automatic pistols. Yeah, this fight's gonna be rough. Thanks to the sheer amount of crab I have on my person, I'm basically immortal. Well, except for when I'm not. In Fallout 4, because of the way healing works, at least in the base game, not survival mode, you could heal through almost everything just through the power of eating. It's honestly remarkable. I did decide to eat one of my Mirelurk Queen steaks here, mainly because similar to Nuka-Cola Quantum, at this point it overshadows my health so much that just by eating one, I become invincible for a few seconds. Not that it's a perfect strategy, but it definitely would work. Oh, he's really not that intimidating without his backup, is he? Can we get the snazzy finish? Yeah, not bad. Okay, super important. Second to last Robco fun. We're almost there. There they are, the people we won't be interacting with at all in this run. I'm sure you guys are all super interested about hearing all about my adventure at the Memory Den, everybody's favorite part of Fallout 4. Yay! You guys can't wait to hear in excruciating detail about every little happening that happened. The only important thing that happened here was I did pick up the extra copy of Grognak and the Ruby Runes, which is the final piece of Robco fun that I needed. Before somebody inevitably says, hey, what about Automatron? Yeah, no, screw Automatron. I'm not doing the entire DLC for a single game. Oh, hey, Nick, thanks for that. He risked his life just to progress the story. Anyways, now we could go ahead and handle Virgil right now, but I'm gonna go ahead and tell you I am not prepped for the glowing sea in the slightest. So first we're gonna do old guns. After all, what better way to procrastinate than to actually get work done? So funny enough, not a lot of people know this, but if you insult Ronnie enough, she straight up will start throwing hands. And I just think it's really funny. I'm sorry, the Minutemen really should have like an outfit code. What is this crap? This man's in a freaking construction hat and like leather clothes. Oh my god, like, get in uniform, soldier! Where's your power armor? How are we supposed to be taken seriously if everyone's wearing different crap? Some dude's gonna walk in with like a Tweety Bird shirt. Soldier, why aren't you in uniform? Is he actually gonna go for it? Nah. Unfortunately, my master plan to blow up my one soldier that I really hated didn't work, so instead I just had to do the artillery like normal. Not too much to say about it, it's the artillery. I did actually have a low during all this, so I guess that's something. Just meant that I had to correct my blood sugar in real life and drink a Nuka-Cola cherry. Really not too big of a deal, honestly. Going into this, I honestly thought it would be a bigger stipulation, you know, having diabetes. But given that Fallout 4 wasn't exactly made for you to pretend you're a diabetic, there's not too much I could actually do for this. The artillery is the artillery, so next up on the chopping block is a glowing sea. Also, you may notice my HUD is looking a bit different. There is actually a reason for that. Holy crap, I forgot how loud that is. There is actually a reason for that, and that's because I'm actually filming a different run right now, also on Fallout 4. So yes, my HUD is going to be blood colored for the foreseeable future. So now it's time for the Walking Simulator 5000. The glowing sea is cool if you're, you know, fighting things, but I am not. The sad truth about these kind of runs is, although the concept is really fun, and I could definitely see people under different situations really enjoying this, the fact of the matter is this boils down to the fact that all I have is a knife and some not so great armor, which means, yeah, I'm not exactly going to be itching to engage in a lot of combat. I did run into a behemoth though, that was cool. Yeah, so I thought I was going to see a behemoth absolutely body a deathclaw, but he really couldn't be bothered with it and instead decided that the little diabetic man who has nothing but a very small kitchen knife was obviously the threat when compared to the mutant death lizard, so he decided to start chasing me instead. Lovely. One swift chat with Giga Shrek, and it's time to go to the happiest place on Earth. No, I'm not talking about Disneyland or your grandma's house. I am actually talking about green tech. I love green tech. It's no secret. It's one of my favorite parts of Fallout 4. Because guess what? Knife go brr, and I like Fallout 4's combat. Oh yeah, I also leveled up from talking to Virgil. And in case you're wondering, I'm putting all my points into Gun Nut. You are probably wondering why I'm doing that, and it's simple. I want to have access to the high-level turrets when it comes to defending the castle, and the best way to do that is simply by taking points in Gun Nut. Oh, thanks God somebody sweeped up the rubble that was in front of this door. Basically, that's this game's equivalent of like the Pokemon line of dancing men. Now, I'm not gonna lie to you all, the gunners in green tech did a lot of damage. Counter argument though, I still have over 60 pieces of boiled crab, so you bet your behind that I'm just chugging that at every second I get, so that I'm essentially immortal. I did still die, mind you. As I said, the gunners absolutely shred through my health bar, especially the ones with automatic weapons, because no duh, wearing just a simple graphic t-shirt will not stop a spray of 10mm bullets from it piercing your body. As you can imagine, the turrets were a nightmare for the same reason, but I've been through worse, so I kinda just powered through. Thanks to the power of boiling crab, I managed to make it all the way to the elevator without dying, somehow. And now it's time for the Courser fight. If you can make it through green tech, you can kill the Courser. Yeah. This is about how well I was expecting the fight to go. At least Kellogg has backup. This guy's got nothing. No, you're not getting out of here alive. Give me my plastic. That is mine. So now it's time to get the Courser chip decoded. Going into this, I actually had no idea which faction I was going to go with, but there was one thing I did know. I sure as hell was not siding with those pricks. I've been asked before why I don't like the railroad, and put simply, I think they're stupid. Like they're seriously about to let loose a bunch of humanoid robots into a wasteland. They're gonna reprogram them to make them think they're humans, and they're just gonna turn them loose into a place where food is already on short supply as well as clean water. And let's face it, the breeding pool is getting real small. So yeah, they're literally dooming the Commonwealth for no reason. Anyways, that's why I've never sided with the railroad, aside from a couple runs that I was kind of forced to. So yee, there are some things in life that just bring everyone in the world joy. Like eating. Killing the railroad is that, but for Fallout players. With the railroad reduced to nothing more than rotting piles of flesh, it was time to wrap up the last of the game. By which I mean go to the Institute and finish all that jazz. And so I built the plot MacGuffin and zapped my butt straight to the Institute. In case you're wondering what I did about Father-Son's rant while I was in the Institute, well, I was lucky enough where Jacinthe's theme of all things was playing while I was here. So yeah, I just bumped the music all the way up and completely ignored everything he had to say.
Experiments and trials.
He shouldn't have talked at me. I will tolerate many things. Ranting in my general direction? Absolutely not. Oh shoot, I may have not thought this through. So more Mirelurk meat to the rescue as I made my way out of the Institute. I honestly couldn't be bothered to do anything here. Like yeah, I could talk to the scientists and do things peacefully, but why would I do that? That's just wasting my time. The synths are still scary, mind you. They are still synth striders, meaning they have a lot of health. Yeah, no, they had a lot of health. There's no way around it. Oh, Jesus, that was fast. I feel like they usually talk to you. No, they just zipped me out. Okay. Well, I guess we're on to the final. Well, that is first. We still have to defend the castle. Okay, let's get this over with. I'm not going to beat around the bush. Defending the castle scares me. It is easily the hardest part of the Minuteman questline, and possibly one of the hardest parts of the game in general. Still, it's not like I could avoid it, so let's get this over with. Let's see if our efforts paid off. The goal is missile launcher turrets. I would settle for heavies though. Oh, Gun Nut 3, really? What level is Gun Nut 3? I might grind up for that. Yeah, so Gun Nut 3 is not happening. Heavy machine gun turrets it is. Yeah, so it turns out I was really overthinking this. The heavy turrets make short work of any synths. Like, I'm not kidding, they rip through them in seconds. Also, some power armor I brought here for reasons I'm not going to disclose wound up being used by Preston. This made him an absolute beast in the field, and he kind of just ran around massacring synths as he went. Couple that with just the sheer amount of Minutemen we had shooting around, yeah, we were never in any position to lose. I know it may seem strange that I'm taken aback that the heavy artillery is pulling a lot of weight during this fight, but I mean, come on, this is a bit ridiculous. This is the penultimate quest for the Minutemen, which is usually the hardest quest in Fallout. And the fact that I'm honestly just rinsing through this is kind of absurd to me. Like, even the coursers couldn't put up much of a fight with just the turrets alone. Look at him getting ragdolled. That was 2 coursers in a row.
It was a tough fight.
Oh, was it, Preston? Was it? So, sort of like the Gunners and Courser relationship, if you could do the penultimate quest of Fallout 4, you can beat the Institute. It's sort of a weird structured format of this game where the last quest is usually a bit more to, I guess, show off in a weird way. Like, you get what I'm saying. The last quest is like taking down the Brotherhood or using Liberty Prime. It's to finish off with a bang. And so what that means is your player has little to no input on what's actually happening. Like, the final quest for the Minutemen is literally, whoops, the Institute left their back door open. Guess we're slipping in that way. Like, sure, the Institute throws some synths at you, which is cool, but after defeating a literal army of coursers, yeah, no, this is easy. Now, there are turrets, ghouls, mole rats, even Institute synths and scientists down here, but again, I still have over 20 pieces of roasted Mirelurk meat, which is plenty to have for just the Institute. So again, despite being the final quest of what's a pretty interesting challenge run, really not too much to say. Like, I ran through the entire bit, and I'm not joking, the entire thing. Thanks to the power of more boiled crab I had shoved somewhere down in my pockets, I managed to make it all the way through the Institute. So after a lot of, well, let's be real, falling, tripping, getting lost, lots of getting lost, running around in circles some more, getting more lost, and almost dying several times because I got like jammed somewhere, I beat the game, sorta. Also, by the way, worth mentioning, I ditched Robo Sean. As cool as it would be to have my own I'm David, I really shouldn't be trusted with any kind of responsibility ever. So with all of that nonsense out of the way, the Institute was reduced to a smoldering pile, finishing the game, and proving, yeah, kinda sort of under these weird stipulations, you could beat the game as me. This was stupid as hell, and I would absolutely do it again. Sure, towards the end I got really frustrated and honestly fed up, but can you blame me? I am beating Fallout 4 with a melee weapon with the stats for an intelligence build. It's unbelievably stupid and counterintuitive. But hey, I had fun, I hope you guys had fun as well, and that's really all I've got to say. Sorry I've been kinda short on challenge videos lately, I honestly didn't mean for that to happen. I just got sorta burnt out when it comes to them because yeah, I have to beat an entire game per video, but honestly, it was really nice to get back into them. I have a few more planned for the upcoming weeks, and if I can keep some semblance of a schedule, I will. But unfortunately, you guys know me, I'm not very good with that. Well, with all that being said, I hope you guys enjoyed the video, and that's it for me.